Hello, my lovelies. Elsie here to do a reading for you. How are you doing? I hope you're well. I am here to do a sneak peek for the weekend. So I'm going to do the sneak peek for the weekend, just give you some weekend energy for everybody. And then I'm going to do the regular sneak peek throughout the week, so you have energy for the next 7 days. And of course, at that time, I will continue with the individual reads for the signs. So I have 12 decks here to my left, and I'm going to read a little bit from each of them. It's not always going to be about love. It's going to be about whatever the cards truly tell us. And so I am going to mark everything down below in the description. Look, if you're on a device that doesn't show you the chapters when you scroll this video, you may have to open your window really large in order to see the chapters. But if you don't, please look in the description below. All of the timings are there. So thank you so much for clicking here. I do appreciate you. If you've never been here before, I don't usually do a sneak peek for the weekend, but I am this time because I've been gone for the last few days, last 4 or 5 days. And I just want you to have some energy for the weekend. I usually do a sneak peek for the week, and I do that weekly. So if you've been here before, you know what all of that is about. And just like that, it is Scorpio season. It is time, y'all. It's that time again. And look, we are already in the shadow of Mercury retrograde. So it's happening in Scorpio. I think that's all I have to tell you. Oh, actually, there are some sales on private reads if you're looking for live connection or if you're looking for pre-recorded reads. I do have 10% off of all my pre-recorded reads until the 31st of October. That'll be the 31st of October at midnight. And that's on any of the reads that are listed. I have added more readings, different packages to my repertoire. So please click on the link to Hypsee underneath this video. The very first pinned comment will give you that information. And then you can go over there and check to see what the time frames are, what the pricing is. And if you're interested in a live reading, I'm doing those as well. So we can connect via phone, we can connect via video, and anywhere between 5 and 75% off those live readings. All right, let's get it done. Let's find out what is going on for Aries. Getting to you first, my fire family. How you doing, friends? I hope you're well. Missed you, Aries. Let's find out what's going on for you. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter. This is your sneak peek for the weekend. Aries. Let's find out what's going on with Aries. Tell me what's going on with the fire family, Aries. We start out with the Hermit energy. Why is that? Tell me why Aries is in Hermit energy. Feels like to me somebody here has regrouped or pulled back their energy, gone inside the self, I think, to find answers about endings, about how to find my way in the dark with just the light of my inner self. We've got the 9 of Cups here. I think you're going in this Hermit energy. I think you've pulled your energy back probably from a lot of people. And it feels like you're doing that for the purpose of alignment. So inner happiness. The 9 of Cups is telling me that you are wandering about with your light, trying to find out if you're going to be okay with not getting external validation. And I think you will, because the 9 of Cups is coming into alignment here. We do have the 8 of Swords. So I think you're sorting some things out this weekend, it looks like. Trying to sort some things out. And I feel like it's things that are going on in your head. Oh, wait a second. So you guys know that if you've been here before, you know that I'm clairaudient. And when I said that, the song Daisies from Justin Bieber popped up in my head. And the way I got you going, something about the way you're all around in my head. I think I'd rather you in my bed. When will I see you again? So somebody wants to see you again. I don't know who this is, but it feels like somebody, I feel like maybe you want to see someone. It could be that. Yeah, somebody here wants to see you again. And that song is rather romantic. It's like the sound of romantic strolling along. I feel like somebody wants to see somebody else in the future. So if this is, and it could be anything. It doesn't have to be romance. In fact, like the 9 of Cups is alignment and wish fulfillment, but it's not necessarily romantic. So it does feel like somebody here is up in their head trying to figure out what the future is going to bring. Somebody wants to open the future and look forward. I think you've already made the decision to move forward here, but I think that it's like the calm before the storm. It's like you're in this hermit energy, trying to find your alignment so you can get out of the Eight of Swords, so you can move forward on something here. Tell me about the Hermit. We've got the Ace of Pentacles. We've got the Seven of Swords in the reverse. Very interesting. And we've got the Page of Wands. So I feel like there is a spark here, or a little bit of excitement. Excitement about the future is what it feels like. Getting some sort of stability. So, excitement about the future and stability. The Four of Wands is stable. Fours are always about stability. It feels like something that's exciting, or something that is that you want to celebrate. The Page of Wands is curiosity, but it's like exploration, excitement. The Seven of Swords is in the reverse, which tells me that something is about to be revealed or come to the surface. Something that has been under the surface, and I think that you've been holding it under the surface with the Hermit energy. But the Ace of Pentacles is telling me that I feel like you want to invest somewhere, or it's time to finally bring things into the 3D. Tell me about this Seven of Swords. What's coming to the surface here? It feels like something's being revealed. Maybe you're revealing your spark, your excitement, or maybe your Ace of Pentacles to somebody here. What is this? We've got the Queen of Pentacles. We've got the Three of Pentacles. And we've got the Eight of Wands. So it does feel like you do want to see somebody again here. It feels like that there has been a very slow-moving sort of energy between you and the Queen of Pentacles. The Queen of Pentacles can also represent stability. So maybe there is a very stable foundation that is growing here. It does feel like with the Eight of Wands that something here is about to move forward. It feels very exciting, I'm going to say, that someone has finally decided they're going to get out of their head and say something. I think it's you, Aries. You're going to make this move forward as I think that you've been stuck in this pentacle world, or in this hermit energy for a bit here. So Virgo, Taurus, Capricorn energy, moving really, really slowly. But I think things are about to pick up here. It feels like it could be somebody who is wanting to speak to the King of Pentacles. All of this energy of the Eight of Wands is flowing towards the King of Pentacles. So it feels like somebody wants to move towards stability. We've got the King and the Queen here. If it is romantic, it might be that you're mirroring someone. It doesn't have to be romantic. We're in Pentacles. It could be money, house, home. It could be property. It feels like there is somebody's taking a shot at something, maybe stability or settling down, possibly. We've got the Six of Swords. This has already begun to move, I'm going to say. This is already there's already movement here. We've got the Knight of Wands, and things are about to pick up. So I don't know if you're the cross-watcher watching. I feel like I'm reading for the cross-watcher. Aries is about to pick up pace here. It feels like somebody who's wanted to settle down, or is looking at someone else as though they mirror their settle-down energy. We've been slowly building some sort of foundation, and I'm about to reveal my excitement about giving you an offer of some sort, is what it feels like, because there's an offer in the hand of each of the King and the Queen of Pentacles. So there's energy being mirrored here. It does feel like somebody's finally getting out of their head, because the Six of Swords is confusion, right? Or chaos of the mind, right? Those are all swords up in the head. And then we've got the Eight of Swords here. So it does feel like somebody has decided to release themselves from the mental prison to go to a calmer place. And if a calmer place is the Knight of Wands, well, that's kind of crazy, because that's some pretty powerful energy. I feel like somebody's getting out of their head and is they're feeling a little more brave than usual. And because I feel like what they're going to have to do, this person's holding the Ace of Pentacles. I feel like they're going to have to find their balance and give that offer to see if it's going to work. I think that somebody is trying to be brave, even though they have not been very vulnerable in the past here. Somebody has been shut off or shut down. It also indicates here that if this is romantic and this is about an offer, one is going to give to another. I feel like that this person feels like it's going to turn you off or shut you off, or maybe you feel that way about another, because the Four of Pentacles is here. Somebody's being brave, even though they have been shut off or shut down or not been vulnerable, but it also feels like somebody feels like they're going to be shut down. The person that they're giving their energy to is going to say, no, thank you. Tell me what the outcome is here for Aries. We've got the Ten of Pentacles, we've got the Page of Cups, and the Six of Wands. Look, it is going to be a rather shocking or surprising declaration, it feels like here. The Page of Cups is here, and that is a little bit of a surprise. It feels like somebody is following their intuition and is going to give another person a lot of attention. It feels like there is going to be victory here. For some of you, we could be talking about an apology. If you've been waiting and you feel like somebody's going to be coming forward with apologies, I think that they will. The Ten of Pentacles tells me we're going to get things back on track. We're going to build this stronger and move off into the future here. Like, we're going to be friends forever. We're going to be lovers. We're going to be a long time relationship. There's a lot of pentacles here. It feels like something's coming out of this space of being in the head and the excitement in the belly and making it stable. That's what it feels like here this week. We do have the World card at the bottom of the deck. And the World card is all about closing a chapter so we can begin brand new. Something here is about to shift. So, Aries, I think that you might be shifting something, or if you're a cross watcher, I think Aries might be shifting something with you. I don't often read from the cross watcher's point of view because I believe that this is Aries reading, so I should be reading for Aries, but I got to go with what I feel. So, we do have a lot of pentacles, so we'll call it Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. We do have Sagittarius energy here, Gemini. We have more Sag energy. We do have... I'm going to say Aries, Sagittarius, Leo, because we had a lot of wands. We have Cancer energy here as well as Taurus, Scorpio, Taurus, Aquarius, Leo. Excuse me. It does feel like somebody here has been going really, really slow because the World card is here. But I think that finally, if somebody here has been waiting for something to pick up in speed, that seems to be what's going to be happening this weekend. It feels like something is going to be moving forward this weekend. All right. And it might not be massive, right? It could be small because the page is here, don't forget. All right, Taurus, here we go. How are you, my bull gang? I hope you're well. Thank you so much for clicking here. Let's find out what's going on for the weekend. Sneak peek for the weekend, Taurus. For you, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter. Nice to be back. Missed you. Tell me what's going on this weekend for Taurus. Taurus, we have Temperance. Tell me why Temperance is here. It feels like something here is about to happen. It's like a moment of alchemy. Maybe something you've been waiting for something to come into balance, Taurus. Waiting for something to be evened out or to come to a place where everything is in order. I'm going to say everything is coming to order. Oh, okay, just saw a gavel. It could be legal for some of you. Somebody is like order, right? So something is coming to order here. We've got the King of Pentacles. Tell me why the King of Pentacles is here. We've got the Star. Something is healing, moving forward. Something you've been hoping for, Taurus, here. Taurus is the King of Pentacles, right? So Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, we're in a general reading, but that's your energy, right? We've got the Four of Pentacles. I feel like you've been hopeful that there's going to be somebody here who's been very, very quiet with you. The Four of Pentacles is about being, not really being very vulnerable, being sort of stuck in my ways, right? It's Capricorn energy, and I feel like somebody's been planning behind the scenes, or I'm just looking at the house or the castle in the background, and somebody has hidden themselves away from the castle where nobody can see them. It feels like there's a secret, or somebody has the key to something and they're not sure if they should use it. I feel like the star is telling me that somebody is hopeful that that something here is going to finally come to a moment of alchemy. It does feel like that there is something that is going to be healing itself, or that there is something that is coming into balance here. Something that you've been hoping for, Taurus. Tell me what's going on here with Temperance. We've got the Six of Pentacles, we've got the Seven of Pentacles, and we've got the Page of Cups. Taurus, I feel like there is going to be someone who wants a little bit more of your time. It feels like it's been a little bit lopsided, I'm going to say. With the Six of Pentacles, I'm getting that feeling of you're the one that's been giving a lot of the time, energy, effort, or money towards something here. But the Seven of Pentacles is here. And then you wait. And you wait, and I feel like you're waiting to have that return to you. Like maybe some person has been giving it to you little bits and pieces at a time. But it feels like this could be, like we've got Pentacles, so it could be the workplace. But it's time, effort, energy, money. It feels like maybe you're waiting for someone to pay you back. And it could be energetically, it could be in terms of money, time, effort, or energy. So it feels like with the Page of Cups here, you are going to get that. Somebody is going to open the door a little bit and give you a little bit of what you feel like they owe you, whatever it is you feel like they owe you. It feels like this person has been very closed off or shut down, or just maybe just not showing a lot of vulnerability with you. It feels like with the King here and the Four of Pentacles that this person has been a little bit disconnected from you. And I think that you've been hoping that something was going to come to a moment of alchemy. Now I'm talking to you if you're like in this Empress energy. I feel like that you're a person who is not going to chase. You are not going to call this person, text this person. You're just waiting for them to figure it out. And I don't think I don't think you're sitting there waiting. I think you're doing your thing. You're living your life. And I think that you're hoping that something in the future is going to finally crack, or it's going to finally come to a place where, okay, everything feels like it's ready, I would say, because everything has been sort of stuck. I want to say that there hasn't been much for communication. This person hasn't been texting you. You haven't been texting them. If this is work, it almost feels like you've been waiting for someone to give you a raise, waiting for someone to give you the go ahead on a project, waiting for someone. It's like you've been putting in a lot of time, maybe overtime, effort or energy, and they're not giving you much back. And you've been waiting for somebody to say, okay, it's your turn, Taurus. And we've got the Two of Swords. So listen, I feel like there's going to be a decision that is made. We've got Two of Wands and Two of Swords. It feels like there is a decision that's being made. And I feel like there is somebody in your life here, Taurus. It could be you. But there is somebody here who is deciding to take action. That decision is likely to be made this weekend. And I feel like the block that's been in place is about to be released. We do have a full moon over the head of the person in the Two of Swords. I feel like this person is listening to their intuition. That's confirmed by the Page of Cups being here. They're up in their hips, up to their hips in water here. Somebody here is releasing some sort of emotion, I feel, because of the full moon above this person's head. So I'm going to say that things are not going to be stuck for a very long time here. I feel like there's going to be movement this weekend for some of you. But this Page of Cups here, I feel like could be a new start, a new beginning, or something that's going to surprise you. It's going to be surprising that somebody here is taking action. And I don't know what the action is, but that will be up to you. We've got the Ten of Wands. So look, you're going to be able to drop some sort of heavy burden you've been carrying. It feels like waiting, I'm going to say, because the Seven of Pentacles is waiting. The Eight of Wands in the reverse is like no movement. Things have been a little bit stuck. Finally, we have the twos. Somebody is finally getting out of their head, getting out of their block here and making a decision to take action. Ten of Wands is you're going to be able to drop some sort of feeling that you've been carrying of waiting for something to happen, waiting for something to go down, waiting for someone to finally show their feelings to you. Tell me what the outcome is here for Taurus, please. We've got the Knight of Cups, we've got the Hierophant, and we've got the Tower. Okay, Taurus, I feel like if this is maybe you're waiting on a job or waiting on an okay or waiting on a project or money or something that has to do with your time, efforts, and energies that you've been putting into something, I feel like this is the weekend where everything shifts, is what it feels like. So we have the Knight of Cups. The Knight of Cups is moving rather slow. This is the passive energy, right? But it also is very sweet energy. I'm reading this many different ways. Of course, I always do. You all know that because there's many of you. But if you're looking at this reading from the perspective of romance, it does feel like somebody here wants to try and get some sort of small commitment. Now, I know the Hierophant's here, and the Hierophant can be a large commitment, but I don't feel that it is because the Knight is here. If it was a large commitment to me, it would be the King or the Queen that would be here. So the Knight is telling me that somebody has some really sweet, romantic, emotional feelings for you, and they want to build structure around that. So somebody here who I feel hasn't really told you anything, has been walking a path or moving really super slow here, Taurus and Taurus, right? Moving really super slow. I feel like things go into a hard shift this weekend, and somebody is about to give you what you want, give you what you've been waiting for, the thing you've been hoping for. And let's find out what is around the corner here for Taurus. We've got the Death card, we've got the King of Wands, we've got the Ace of Swords. So we have Scorpio energy. So there's something here going down in Scorpio season. Happy Scorpio season. We're in that today. It feels like somebody is about to pursue whatever it is that they want, and they're going to pursue you to have a very clear conversation about what's going on next between you. Whether that is, it's something that's going on in the 3D. So it's no longer a thought process. It feels like somebody here feels like that they might get an argument out of you, or maybe that you have a difference of opinion. That maybe whatever they want is maybe not whatever you want. This person feels like they might end up having to just walk away and cut their losses. But it feels like they're trying to create a heart space or excitement here for you, Taurus. So let's talk about what sort of signs we've got here. See what's going on here. We've got King of Pentacles. We've got Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn energy here. We've got oh gosh, my brains have just stopped. So Aries, Sagittarius, Leo, Libra, Gemini, and Aquarius. Scorpio is here. More Scorpio. Yeah, I feel like you're moving into Scorpio season, and I feel like this is where things take off. Now, it could be the start of something brand new showing up because the Page of Cups is here, and I feel like you're going to feel the first shift of something here that is coming in. We've got Sagittarius energy here too. Gosh, my brains are kind of on hold. I've been away for a little bit, and it feels a little bit foreign to be sitting here at the desk. Hang on a sec here. Gemini, it's you. Tell me about Gemini, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter. This is your sneak peek for the weekend, Gemini. Hope you're well. How you doing, friends? Tell me about Gemini, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter. Tell me about Gemini. What's coming up for this weekend? Tell me about Gemini. What's coming up this weekend? We've got the Devil energy here. Oops. What's this? We've got Justice. Why is Justice here for Gemini? We've got the Knight of Cups. There is something here that has been taking a rather long time. I feel like the Death card here, or sorry, not the Death, but the Devil here, is giving me this energy of something that you've been attached to. I think you've been waiting for the result of something. It could be legal for some of you because Justice is here, but I think that mostly for all of you, that you're waiting for something to come back into balance, or you're waiting to hear or feel some sort of harmony in a situation where you felt, and I feel like this is, the Devil and the Knight of Cups is telling me that you were really invested emotionally into this, and that you have been waiting. Like it almost feels like your heart's been chained, or that you felt emotionally trapped, or something like that. It feels like something here is about to come into something here is about to come into balance or harmony, and it feels like karma is going to be served. You know what I mean? It feels like somebody's cleared up their karma, and now we can move forward here. And I feel like you are going to be released by these chains here that were binding you. It feels like here, Gemini, that you've been in this energy of being in a pause, trying to find some sort of balance in your life. I'm going to say this person's hanging from the tree of life, right? We've got the Hanged One. Somebody here who is sort of in this energy of perspective. It feels like life has slowed down for you for a purpose. So if you feel like you're waiting on something, or something's not going as quick as you want it to, I feel like things were slowed down so you could get a different perspective as to why you... I'm hearing the song Unchain My Heart. I know it's a really old song and some of you won't know it, but it feels like your heart is about to become unchained to something. You're about to let something go that had you captured, or had you was attached to you emotionally. It feels like you're finally going to get some justice in this. And like I said, for some of you, this could be a legal thing. But it feels like these, you're around the Knight of Cups are these three major arcanas, and major arcanas, when they show up, you don't really have a choice except how to react or respond. So something here is happening that's out of your control, but I do believe it's a good result because the Knight of Cups is here, but I do believe you've been waiting on something for a while. We've got the Hierophant, we've got the Four of Swords, and we have the Empress. You have a lot of changes. Look, there's a lot of major arcana here. I've pulled 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 cards, and only 2 of those are not major arcana cards. So if you've been waiting on something to change, it feels like there is I want to say that your heart has been chained to somebody. It could be a Taurus, it could be a Libra, it could be a Taurus or a Libra, I would say. Could be somebody who's a water sign, Pisces possibly, or a Capricorn. It feels like you've been bound or chained, and it feels like you couldn't do anything. We've got the 4 of Swords here. It tells me that you're trying to heal from maybe some sort of a commitment. It could be an emotional or romantic commitment because the Knight of Cups is here, but it does feel like for some of you it might have something to do with I think that you've committed yourself to giving somebody something, like a lot of abundance, or maybe borrow some money or something like that. It feels like you've been feeling chained to that. I want to say that something here is going to come into like a harmonious state, and you're going to get a better perspective about your weight and why you had to wait for this thing before it could come to an end or work itself out. We do have the 5 of Swords, the 6 of Wands, and the 7 of Swords. So I feel like it feels like there's been some false starts here. Like somebody said, yeah, I'll pay you back if it's about money. Don't worry about it. I'm going to pay you back. I feel like there has been arguments or fights over whatever we're talking about. It could be about abundance. It could be about stability, but it does feel like it could be a person too, right? Like the Empress can be a person. The Hierophant can be a person. It feels like though somebody is dealing in abundance or stability, and we've been arguing about that. I feel like you get your perspective this week, Gemini, about it feels like you've been feeling trapped in the way you feel about something, and it's been quite emotional for you, but I also feel like you're dealing with it in Swords. So you're not dealing with it emotionally, you're dealing with it in the 5 of Swords and the Devil energy, which is maybe you're just being a little brutally honest with your words, and that would fit right into what's going on right now, because Mercury is we're in the shadow phase of Mercury retrograde, and we are in Scorpio season, and that would be expecting cutting truths, and that's what this feels like, cutting truths. We do have the 6 of Wands, and it feels like there will be a victory in you figuring something out about something that was hiding under the surface, or maybe that somebody was lying to you, possibly deceiving you. The 2 of Pentacles is here, which tells me that finally someone makes a decision to come clean or to get stable. A decision is made, and I feel like it's made in the 3D. What's the decision about? The Ace of Swords in the reverse. Ace of Swords in the reverse is unclear communication. I don't really understand what's going on here. I feel like something here is coming to some sort of stability. Something that has been going back and forth is coming to an answer, or some sort of stable something or other that's coming in the pentacle world here. Something that you didn't know the answer to, but assumed what was going on underneath the surface. I feel like there is a victory to be had here after we have some harsh words. I don't know what that means, but it feels like there is something here. It could be a legal thing being decided in your favor, but it does release your emotional energy or releases your heart. I feel like your perspective is what you wanted more than anything else. Tell me what the outcome is for Gemini. We've got the Page of Cups. I think this is going to surprise you, but I feel like it's also going to confirm your intuition. It feels like with the High Priestess here that you were observing from a distance and waiting for something to happen. I think this is the weekend that something does happen. And it might surprise you because it might not be timely, which I mean is maybe you thought you'd have to wait longer for the answer, or maybe it was tied up in the courts, or maybe you still don't have clarity as to when things are going to become stable, that you knew somebody was lying. It feels like maybe you were arguing with someone about those lies, but it does feel like here that things are going to become stable. It feels like your job right now is to rest. Relax the mind. I feel like you're supposed to become stable in your energy and stop arguing with whoever you're arguing with and let the universe take care of it, because all of these major arcanas, another one has come out here, tells me that after the silence and viewing something from a distance, that something's going to surprisingly come to fruition here, and it's going to confirm your intuition. We've got the King of Cups, we've got the 8 of Wands, there it is, and the 10 of Swords. So something is coming to an end here. The King of Cups is here, And it does feel like something that was tumultuous, but under the surface, something you had no control over, it feels like, because I feel like the devil energy and the Five of Swords was in control. All you could do was really be harsh with your words. It feels like there was, and even being harsh with your words, you realized is really a waste of time, because you had to wait for a decision to be made. The Eight of Wands are headed towards the Ten of Swords. You're going to be able to release something here. It feels like, look at this, there's an aggressive tower coming in. Everything is shifting, and it's going to bring a new beginning here. And it feels like whatever this is something that you've been hoping for or wishing for. It feels like there is an aggressive shift that shows up, but I think it's in your favor, honestly. It feels like you've been fighting yourself about something that's been going on in the past, but the judgment is here. So someone is making a judgment, which is going to give you a little bit more of a solid foundation about whatever this is for you here. We've got Aries energy and Scorpio. We've got Libra, Gemini, and Aquarius. We've got Taurus and Libra, more Taurus, Scorpio, Pisces, and Cancer. We've got more Libra energy and some Capricorn energy. Breaking the ties that have been binding you. I feel like you're going to feel a lot freer after all of this goes down. Tell me about Cancer, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter. Tell me about Cancer. Cancer, this is your sneak peek for the weekend. I will be back with your sneak peek for the week later on in the week here. Tell me about Cancer, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter. What's about to come up for Cancer over this weekend? Now, what weekend is that? Look, it depends when you're viewing this. Today, tomorrow, next year. It could resonate with you. Then, we've got the Nine of Cups. We've got the Moon energy. We've got the Four of Wands, and we've got the Knight of Pentacles. I feel like, Cancer, something is coming into alignment, but you don't understand that it is. It feels like something is not necessarily as it seems, but it is going to make you very happy. Now, the reason I feel like you don't see it coming into alignment, because, well, number one, I think your eyes have been closed to it for a while. We do have somebody here with their eyes closed, but also this person, understand, they're doing something that they love. So I'm going to say that you're not sitting by the window waiting for something to happen. It feels like when you get yourself into alignment, when you get your emotional energy, your psychic energy, when you get into alignment, that miracles begin to happen. It feels like wish fulfillment shows up, something that possibly has been under the surface, something that you've been feeling but not really seeing. Feels like you're about to celebrate some type of stable win. The Knight of Pentacles is here. It feels like something here has been taking a long time, maybe a year, like a really long time. And it feels like it's because it had to go through reassessment after reassessment is what it feels like here. Tell me about the Nine of Cups. You've got the Ace of Wands. You're going to be very excited about dropping some burdens about something here. There is something that we're finally agreeing on. So the Two of Cups is here, and it could be something that has to do with two people romantically. Two of Cups isn't always about romance, but it could definitely be that somebody's been carrying a really heavy emotional burden with them, wanting to get into alignment so I can move forward and get excited about opening a new passionate path with somebody here. But it feels like for you, it might be a little bit heavy. It feels like you've been hoping that somebody is going to want to exchange emotional cups with you and deepen the connection here. Or this is just something that you're hoping comes into emotional balance after having carried it around for a while. It feels like you've been carrying it around for a while because the moon is here. And I feel like you are about to get stability in whatever I'm talking about. The situation is about to come into alignment here. So it could be two people. It could be a decision, an emotional decision. But it feels like whatever it is, you've been carrying it around for a while and waiting for the moment to take flight here. We've got the Two of Swords, we've got the Two of Pentacles, and we've got the Knight of Cups. So there is a decision being made here, and I think it's a really important one. There has been a block, and it feels like I feel like there has been a block. So I feel like I'm talking to you, Cancer, who is, essentially the workaholic of the water signs. I feel like you've been keeping yourself busy during this emotionally tumultuous time. But I feel like when you are working, that's when you do your best listening to your intuition. I feel like whatever the work is that you do, that it's very intuitive, or it's something that now your body does without your brain having to be involved, if you know what I mean. So maybe you're someone who works in a factory, or something that your hands know how to do. Maybe it's typing that your brain doesn't necessarily have to be in on. It feels like that while you are busy with life, it feels as though this emotional tumultuous time comes to an end, that there's a block that's being removed. It does feel like it is it's not a big shift of energy, I'll say. It's something really smooth. It's like you finally come to a decision about something. Maybe you're just typing away, and you're like, oh, yeah, I suppose I could do that, couldn't I? It feels like you become ready to get some balance after going back and forth on something. And it feels like it removes some sort of an intuitive block. You're getting an answer to something that you've been contemplating, or something that you have trying to get a perspective on for a while. It feels like it has to do with an important decision in your life, that you wanted to be able to make this decision with balance, with clarity, stability, and with your intuition. I feel like you are doing that this weekend. It does feel like you are going to have to sacrifice your balance in order to be able to move forward here. But I'm just going to say that when I say sacrifice your balance, I feel like the block is removed. And so it reveals that the Two of Pentacles is here with a sort of trying to keep the balance. But I feel like the Hanged Man tells me that you were in a pause and no longer are. It's almost like you're in the pocket of the slingshot, and now you're being shot out to the future here. But it feels like it's kind of, I would say, it's not a harsh movement into the future. It feels like you finally are, okay, I know where to go now, and that's what I'm going to do. But it does feel like what you're going to have to sacrifice this block. And I say sacrifice this block because I feel like you got pretty comfortable in the pause, and I don't think you're going to be in the pause after this weekend. You're making a decision about something. The outcome is the Eight of Cups. Got the Page of Wands. Yeah, it does feel like you're finally excited about something again here. So the Two of Wands is here. So it does feel like, I want to say that somebody here does some type of work that allows them for their brain to go off into meditation land and make decisions. It's like when we're talking to each other over dinner, like the food is there, and it's almost like a how can I say, not detachment, but it's almost like it's like we're focused on the meal and we're not really looking at each other, but it brings out our communication skills. So it feels like while you were doing something else, you made a decision about something. And the Eight of Cups is here. It tells me that it gets you unstuck. I want to say that you're no longer going to be waiting for something because it no longer serves you. It feels like you decided that you don't want to be stuck in an emotional place anymore. And so the Page of Wands tells me you decide to take some sort of a risk or move forward, or there's excitement in your belly now that, now that I've got the answer, I think that I'll do it. The King of Pentacles in the reverse isn't quite as stubborn as the King of Pentacles in the upright. At least for me as a reader, it's a little more flexibility with my money, time, effort, or energy. So it feels like somebody here is ready to be just a little more flexible. It may make you feel destabilized for a little bit, but I want to say that that's the part of the excitement. I want to say that that you become unstuck or stop being stubborn about making some sort of a decision. Now you feel the excitement of, I'm just going to drop this here. I'm going to tell this person about my feelings, my time, my effort, my energy. I'm ready to move forward into the future now. Let's get on the motorcycle and go. It feels like somebody here has been planning down behind the surface here, behind the scenes, trying to figure out how I'm going to take action. Tell me what's around the corner for Cancer. We've got the Queen of Cups, that's your energy. We've got the Seven of Swords and the Ten of Swords. It feels like you are releasing your emotions. That's what it feels like. It feels like with the Seven of Swords that you're no longer lying to yourself about how you feel about something, that you're finally releasing it or letting it go. And it's terrifying because the Ten of Swords leaves you vulnerable, right? Even though you've released it, it's like I was really vulnerable and this could happen again. But I feel like you are in this place of growth from the Knight to the Queen, and it feels like you can no longer contain it. I feel like it's something here that you're finally going to either be admitting your feelings to someone or just being honest with someone, or you're going to be releasing some sort of a secret about feelings or how you felt about something. It doesn't always have to be romantic, but it feels like it's something you've been carrying around for a while and that you have decided, okay, well, it's time. I've got to release this. I've got to sacrifice something. I think you're sacrificing your stability. The King of Pentacles tells me a little bit of destabilization in order to have progress. We've got the Ace of Swords at the bottom of the deck. So in the future, there's going to be some sort of clear conversation with somebody that to tell them about what it is that you've decided. And I think what you've decided is we need to get together and talk, is what it looks like here. We've got Pisces energy. We've got Libra, Gemini, and Aquarius, Aries, Sagittarius, and Leo, Scorpio, Pisces, Cancer, Taurus, Virgo. Got everybody here. Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, Cancer, and Pisces energy. All right. Let's look at Leo. Tell me about Leo for the weekend. Sneak peek for the weekend, Leo. How are you, friends? Fire family, I hope you're good. What is going on for Leo, please? Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter. Happy Scorpio season. We are in the retrograde shadow phase right now. Retrograde is happening, I believe, around the 9th. Let's find out what's going on for you, Leo, this weekend. Sneak peek for the weekend, Leo. We've got the Seven of Cups. We've got the Ace of Pentacles, the Two of Wands. Oh, interesting. You've made a decision here, it feels like. Pardon me. You've made a decision that I think you're going to take action on over the weekend. It feels like there is something that has moved into this place of feeling a little more stable about taking action on something. The Seven of Cups tells me that you had a lot of options, or have a lot of options or opportunities to pick one of these cups off the wall. It feels like you have made a decision. The Two of Wands is telling me that you had been stuck at the crossroads for a while, but you finally got the key and realized, yep, the answer is in one of these boxes. Feels like somebody here is finally making their decision and taking action toward the Ace of Cups here. Now, the Two of Cups is in the reverse with the 10 of Wands, and it feels like for somebody here that you've been carrying around something that hasn't been making you feel good. And what I feel like this is, and this could be you, Leo, or somebody else, it's totally up to you as to how you're reading this, but the Two of Cups in the reverse to me is somebody who is not showing their feelings, or somebody who's denying their feelings, somebody who's not being honest or truthful about their feelings. I know that something is there, but I'm not going to say it. It feels like that's what you've been carrying around for a while here. I feel like you opened up your options, and I don't think you like the options that you have. It feels like you're just going to go with one cup. I don't think that I feel like in favor of settling down or having something more stable, I feel like this was too overwhelming for you. It almost feels like situationships, like somebody's decided, I don't want to do all this dating anymore. I just want to settle down with one person. That's what it feels like with the Ace of Pentacles here. But the Two of Wands is telling me that you've been thinking about this for a while, and that you're finally taking action on one cup instead of looking at everything overwhelmingly. Like, I can pick whatever. I feel like you have your pick. Like, you can pick whoever you want, but I feel like you've decided to go with one. Tell me about the Seven of Cups. We have the Five of Swords. We have the Devil energy. Yeah, the Justice card is here. It does feel like here, Leo, that possibly, and I'm not saying anything nefarious was going on here, but what I'm saying is I feel like somebody has decided that they're not finding what they want in the dating pool. I feel like there's maybe, excuse me, one person that possibly you dated within that time frame of dating. And I feel like your feelings keep coming back to that one person. And although you have all of these options, I feel like you're ready for just one-on-one. I think you're ready for one cup, one love. It feels like this Five of Swords is telling me that you fought the settling down energy for a long time. It feels like somebody here didn't want to settle down. I don't want to settle down. I don't want to settle in. Because to some people that means trapping, right? That means like, I'm going to have to like do what I'm told. I feel like you fought this Seven of Cups for a while because the devil feels like it's like binding. So I want to say that you view relationships that are one-on-one, Ace of Pentacles, solid, we're only going to date each other. I feel like you see that as a trap. And I feel like recently that you moved into the Justice energy, which is a little more harmonious. It feels like now you feel a little bit stable, a little more ready to offer one person your energy. It feels like you were worried. The reason why you're doing all of this dating or keeping so many options on deck is because you didn't want to feel bound to someone who is gonna, I feel like the Five of Swords is like boss you around, tell you when to be there, tell you what to do, like not being able to make decisions on your own. Like that's what it feels like here. I feel like you're in this place though of emotional harmony, and you have sort of a different outlook on things, that maybe that you now are feeling a little more hopeful, or it feels like with the Star energy and the Justice energy, that harmony now looks to you like healing. That it actually, this is now looking to you like chaos, and the Star here is a little more healing, I would say. We do have the Five of Cups and we have the Judgment card. So I want to say that what you don't want is to be in regret. It does feel like somebody here has decided, you know what, I don't want to get into the later years in my life and having picked no one because I was scared to make a decision. It feels like somebody here, I don't want to be in regret about not making the decision. So I feel like you've been healing or taking time to heal the self, or that you're changing your mind or how you feel about something. Yeah, the King of Coins is the King of Pentacles is the one that wants to settle down. So that's what it feels like, that you've come to this place from, I have a lot of options and I've always had a lot of options, but I don't think I want to go with that anymore, because that actually is more of a trap than anything. Because when you're trying not to catch feelings and you do, then that just sort of, puts a little bit more of a callus over the heart each time you get hurt. What is coming in the outcome here? So I feel like you've been spending some time with yourself, wondering what victory looks like to you. What does it look like to you? It feels like, I want to say somebody here has been spending time by themselves, looking for their own light, looking around in the dark, trying to find their own way, and possibly become more spiritual because of it. It feels like somebody here was, it feels like a little bit of an ego death, I'm going to say. It feels like somebody here was carrying around the heavy burdens of ego. And when you're in this energy of dating a lot of people, you really have to go at it with ego. Because if you get your heart involved with every single person that you date, that's in itself just chaos. So I feel like somebody here stopped dating and was spending time by themselves, wondering, how can I get the victory without feeling weighed down by feeling trapped in a situation? And I think that the conclusion you came to is that settling down is the healing part of it. And that being in the Seven of Cups, being confused, not knowing what you want, or having all these options is actually the thing that was trapping you. Tell me what's around the corner. We've got the Hierophant, we've got the Knight of Wands, and we've got the Fool. It looks like now you're looking for commitment. Now, the thing is this, is that Leo is always going to want the passion. So I feel like what you're looking for is something specific. You're looking to make a decision about someone in the future. 2 and 1 is 3. 3 wands. But I feel like you want to commit to someone, but it's got to be throw you up against the wall kind of passion. I think that the reason that you weren't settling down is because you don't want to dull your passions. You still want to have passionate moments, passionate times. So I feel like you're ready to take a leap of faith into something that's a little more stable. But for you, it always must have to have, the absolute fire and passion here. We've got the Queen of Swords. And I think that you're ready to be honest with yourself about that. And also to tell the person that you're with, look, I don't plan on ever not being passionate, not having, afternoon delights. Like, I feels like you like to have a little bit of spice and maybe every room of the house and, stuff like that. It feels like you just want to tap somebody on the butt in public, or, you know what I mean? Like, I think that that's what you want and it's really important to you. It feels like you're going to be honest with someone about what you're craving and what is for you. And you're going to find yourself that person, but do it slowly. King of Pentacles is here. Do it slowly. So when you do settle down, you find the person who is your person, who's the one who matches you. So we have Libra, Gemini, Aquarius, Aries, Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn. We've got Scorpio energy, Virgo, and Pisces. Taurus energy, we've got Libra, Capricorn, and Libra, Gemini, Aquarius. I already said that. Aries, Sagittarius, Leo energy. All right. Let's talk about you, Virgo. Tell me about Virgo, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter. Tell me about Virgo in the sneak peek for the weekend. Tell me about Virgo. Sneak peek for the weekend, Virgo, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter. Tell me about Virgo. We've got the Page of Swords. It feels like something you have been observing from a distance has possibly changed your mind. The Eight of Cups is here. It feels like you're ready to release something or stop settling for something. Stop settling for less than you deserve emotionally here, Virgo. And the Chariot is here. And so I feel like you were probably dealing with someone who had feelings under the surface, somebody who's been very quiet with you. It feels like maybe you've been quiet with somebody else and observing them from a distance. The Chariot energy is energy that is under the surface. It is victorious energy, but it's also discipline. Look, you have to have discipline in order to be able to stay in the Chariot and keep it on the road. And everything has to be in balance, or things just aren't going to move forward in a very easy way that keeps everything in balance, right? Emotionally. I feel like you have been thinking about or observing. We've got the Ace, the Two Swords here, making a decision. The Ace of Swords is in the hand of the Charioteer, and we do have an Ace of Swords in the hand of the Page. So I feel like that through observation, you're about to make a decision about disconnecting or releasing yourself from some sort of past commitment to move into the future, but I don't think that you're telling anybody. It feels like you're keeping something under the surface or keeping it quiet. Something that you've gotten an answer from your intuition that you do want some sort of victory. And once we gain traction in the Chariot, we're going to move quickly. Tell me about this Page here. We've got the Seven of Pentacles. Yeah, it does feel like you've been waiting on something here, waiting for the right time, or waiting to say something, waiting for the right time to be clear or make conversation or communicate or contact somebody here. It feels like you could be 1, 2, 3, 4 in healing phase after detaching from something that I feel had run its course. The full moon is here, so it could have been on the last full moon that you released something, but it feels like there is something here that you decided is no longer for you. So you detached from it to get in the Chariot and move forward based on whatever your intuition is telling you. Look, it's time to go, is what your intuition was telling you. So with the Ace of Swords being here, it feels like you got some sort of realization or aha moment that this was the time to make a decision, because I feel like you've been waiting for a while, waiting for some sort of shift or listening to the universe or waiting for a feeling that it was time to go. And I feel like you get that feeling this weekend. We've got the Ace of Wands, we've got the World energy, and we've got the Justice card. So we've got the World is the shift, right, into the new cycle, into the new chapter. And we just had a new moon on the 21st in Libra, which is very interesting because the shift happened right here, is what it looks like. The shift is happening, and I feel like this weekend for some of you is going to be the weekend where you finally take action, where you get really excited. I'm going to say that for some of you, it might only be a feeling this weekend. The feeling might be with the Ace of Wands that you get this little bit of excitement in the chest, that there's a shift that's ready to come, that's going to, and it's going to make something feel very harmonious, is what it feels like. It's going to feel like a very balanced or leveled shift. This is the energy that makes you feel ready. You're like, I'm ready for this. We've got the Eight of Wands. And so it does feel like, because there's communication here, you might be deciding to reach out to someone, take your shot. It feels like finally you're ready to move forward here, Virgo, on something. Tell me what the outcome is for Virgo. We've got the Ten of Swords. Yep, you're definitely letting go of something. Wow, are you ever? Look, Virgo, there's something here that you feel has been holding you back for a while. You could not make a decision because you thought that other people would see it as being aggressive. I feel like with this outcome here, the Ten of Swords is something that you finally decide is worth releasing. Yes, it felt bad. Yes, I feel like you were in the Nine of Swords worrying about how to end this for a while. With the Ten of Swords here, it's not only a painful ending, but it's also releasing. And so I feel like you're finally releasing yourself from the tree, from the Hanged Man energy, from the pause. It feels like you finally got your perspective. And so the Wheel of Fortune being here is Major Arcana saying, look, this is divine timing. So I feel like your mind is changing because of all these swords. Swords. It feels like swords. It feels like everything is shifting in the mind, and you're making a big decision about your future this weekend. You may not take action on it, but I think some of you will. The Eight of Wands is here. It's also an indication of moving forward in balance as well, that the old chapter is closed finally, and now I'm excited for the new chapter. Around the corner is the Six of Pentacles. The Emperor is in the reverse, and the Four of Pentacles. I feel like this decision, although you know that it's the right time to move forward, it feels like with the Emperor in reverse that you really don't feel like you're in control of any of it. And I'll say with all of these major arcanas here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, with all of these major arcanas here, I'm going to say that you're probably not in control of all of this. It's going to destabilize you for a bit, but I feel like the Six of Pentacles tells me you're ready to give someone what they've been giving to you. So there might be someone around you who has been wanting to give you their time, effort, energy, or money. And I feel like although it's going to humble you, destabilize you, you're no longer going to feel in control of the situation. I feel like you're ready to answer because the 10 Pentacles is here. I feel like you're finally ready to say, okay, let's move this forward into the future. Let's get some sort of stability. I feel like you're excited for this stability, though. We could be talking about soulmate energy or a family home. Could be talking about some sort of stability within your family. It almost feels like somebody's heart finally melted. It's like your heart was closed off to an idea, a thought pattern, or a situation, or opening a line of communication with someone. I feel like with the Wheel of Fortune here, you can't fight it anymore. So it's time for, like, the Wheel of Fortune is pulling you out of this pause. So it could be silence that you were experiencing with someone else. But I think it's because they kept calling or trying to keep communicating with you with the Six of Pentacles. And I don't think that you were ready. But I think you're going to be ready this weekend. The Four of Cups is here with the Queen of Pentacles. I feel like somebody is going to offer to pull you out of your comfort zone, and I think that you are going to answer that call with the Two of Cups. You're going to deepen the connection with someone. So it could be platonic or romantic. It doesn't have to be romantic, but it feels like somebody's been trying to communicate with you, but you've been sort of avoiding the situation. I feel like you're not avoiding it anymore. You're going to decide this weekend, and you might just go forward next week and get some stability with somebody here. Got Sagittarius energy and Aries. We've got Libra, Scorpio, Taurus, Aquarius, and Leo. Pisces energy is here. Sagittarian as well. We've got Cancer. And we've got Libra, Gemini, and Aquarius energy. All right. Speaking of Libra, tell me about Libra. Libra, thank you for that beautiful season, Libra season. As we leave you here, you still have Venus in your sign. And make good use of that. You might be feeling a little bit in contemplation at this time. And yeah, thanks for that season. And if I didn't get to say happy birthday, I hope it was a beautiful birthday season for you. Let's find out what's going on for you, Libra, this weekend. Tell me about the sneak peek for this weekend for Libra. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter. We've got the Emperor. All right, you're in control, friend. What are you in control of here? Something is gaining stability, or you're feeling more in control of something. What's this? We've got the High Priestess. We've got the Knight of Cups. Libra, you are listening to your intuition about something. You're taking control of some sort of situation or remaining in control. Maybe you want to present yourself as being in control. The Knight of Cups is here. Tell me why the Knight of Cups is here. The Lovers. Well, I don't know if there's any other way to look at that. I feel like this, that something within your intuition is shifting. It feels like that you are, I want to say you are the wounded warrior, Libra. You are a person who's been hurt in relationships before, and they could be platonic or romantic. But they are relationships that you would choose. So whether they are friendships or whether it's romantic for you, I feel like you are feeling in control of a situation, or that you are finally answering to your intuition. The High Priestess is here. I feel like you've been silent about your feelings about someone here. The Lovers is here. You've been quite silent. But this isn't just for the sake of silence. This is contemplation, is what it is. It feels like you have been inside the self, trying to make a decision about whether or not you want to offer a cup to somebody here. The Lovers being here, it feels like you're choosing to give your cup to someone. Now, cups aren't always romantic, but it may be for you. Take it as it resonates for you. I want to say that you're making some sort of a decision based on your intuition to move forward after maybe dragging your heels just a little bit emotionally or possibly romantically. But I think that you're feeling more in control of the situation, or more in control of your emotions or how you feel about the situation, because your intuition is now involved here. I think that you know that somebody is your person, or that you would choose somebody to give your cup to. The Emperor, we have the Six of Pentacles. We have the Ace of Cups. And we have the Wheel of Fortune. Wow. Okay, Libra, you're on. You're on, my friend. It looks like here that you are about to give your reciprocal energy, your reciprocal emotional energy, by the way, to someone else. It feels like you have been waiting for a moment where you felt in control of your own emotions. The Wheel of Fortune, of course, is divine timing. It is destiny. It also is things that are moving forward into the future in a fortunate way. And I think for somebody here, it does feel like it is the Ace of Cups that we're talking about, a new emotional opening. You're opening your heart to somebody here, and you're going to give them reciprocal energy. It does feel like somebody has been giving you signs, maybe possibly that they have a romantic interest in you, but you've been in this Emperor energy where you're trying to stay in control of yourself, your emotions, your feelings, your intuition. I think you were waiting for your intuition to tell you that it was okay to move forward. I feel like somebody here, there is a Libra here who is finally going to move forward because the Wheel of Fortune is here. I really think that you were listening to your intuition. We've got the Three of Cups. I feel like you're going to ask somebody out, or that you are going to give an invitation or accept an invitation. We have the Three of Wands and we have the Moon energy. I feel like things aren't really as they seem, and I think that things aren't really as they seem, Libra, because I feel like you've been giving everybody the emperor face, whether you are the feminine or the masculine. It feels like you have been that people know you as somebody who stays in control of your thoughts, of your emotions, of your stability, and that you might be someone who feels a little bit uncomfortable with showing really deep emotion. But I think you've come to the conclusion that there is somebody here that if given the choice, you would choose them. And I think you already know that they choose you because they've been giving you emotional reciprocal energy. But I don't think you're really giving them a whole lot. I feel like they've been giving more to you than you've been giving to them. So it feels like with the Three of Cups, you could be ready to ask somebody out in the future. Maybe it's not happening this weekend, but I think this decision is happening this weekend, that you have decided in the future you would like to deepen your connection or your emotional connection with somebody here. The moon tells me that things are not as they seem, so maybe you're feeling a little iffy. Like I feel like what you're doing is you are breaking out of character as the emperor to show somebody your emotional energy, and I feel like that might scare you a little bit because the moon here is a little bit intimidating. It's also illusion, and so maybe you're wondering, is this an illusion? Does this person really want to move forward into the future with me? I would say that is probably the answer is yes. I feel like what you're trying to do is stabilize your emotions so you can ask someone out, so we can start building something for the future, because I think you're pretty serious, right? The Emperor is here. You're pretty serious about your emotions and moving forward with someone here. Libra, tell me what the outcome is. What's the outcome for Libra? We've got the Four of Wands. We've got the Star. And we've got the King of Pentacles. So look, it does feel like you are interested with the Five of Cups in the distance. It feels like the reason you've been holding back is because I feel like you've, first of all, wanted to stay in check or want to stay in order, keep your feelings in order. But also, I feel like the reason that you're moving forward now is because you don't want to be in regret about holding back. And then maybe someone else comes in and swoops up your person. But what I think is really cute here is that we have two people who really have their eye on each other. And then we have the Four of Wands. I feel like you really want to solidify, get stable, but it's exciting and celebratory. It really feels like it's a choice for you. The Star is here. I feel like your wishes will be fulfilled about settling down here. It does feel like somebody here is also ready to settle down with the King of Pentacles here. So I feel like maybe you were waiting until you felt more stable, or until maybe there was some sort of financial bar you wanted to hit, or you wanted to feel like you had enough, were enough. This could be stability, but this could also be the feeling of having enough, or wanting to be enough for someone. What's around the corner here for Libra? We do have the Hierophant, we have the Five of Wands, and we have the Chariot. So look, I feel like you've been fighting with yourself a little bit internally about how to move forward and build a structure with someone that doesn't even know how you feel, because you've been holding it all under the surface. With the Chariot energy here, look, it takes forever to get to know Cancer. Cancer will keep it all tucked neatly under the surface until the very last second when they feel comfortable enough to finally release it. Maybe you do have a Cancer or a Taurus connection here in your chart, or maybe you're dealing with one, but it does feel like here, I think you're ready for a solid commitment. That's what it feels like. And it's terrifying. I feel like you really are fighting yourself about the feelings that you have under the surface here. We have the Seven of Swords in the reverse. I think you're ready to reveal it, my friend. There it is. You're ready to reveal your feelings and what you really want. It does feel like somebody is taking a huge chance. But I feel like it's something that you can no longer avoid anymore. I feel like this is the time when you're feeling the most confident. And it's probably because Venus is in Libra, right? It's probably something that is I'm doing this because it feels like it's swelling, like it's coming out from the cup. It feels like the emotions of the moon are uncontainable. And we just went through a new moon in your sign. So you're in a new cycle, which is the Wheel of Fortune, which is card number 10, which is October, but also 10s become 1s in the beginning of something, the beginning of a new cycle. So there is something here that I think you're making a decision about this weekend. And whether you have enough to action it to do this in the future, you could do that next week. I guess we'll wait and see what your reading says for the week ahead. But it does feel like you are making a decision to bring something into balance or to discipline something that you want to make a decision about in the 3D here. So we do have Cancer energy, Pisces energy, Taurus. We do have Virgo and Capricorn, Cancer energy, Scorpio, Taurus, Aquarius, Leo, Sagittarius energy. We have Aries. We do have Gemini energy. So I think you're just going to blurt it out, honestly. I think you're just going to finally tell someone, because your intuition, I feel, is locking in this emotional energy with the Knight of Cups and the High Priestess. All right, might be the moment of alchemy for you, my friend. Destiny is here. And then just like that, it was Scorpio season. Let the games begin, Scorpio. Let them begin. Look, Mars is showing up in your sign, and we are already in the shadow of Mercury retrograde. So there is going to be, Mercury will be in retrograde during the first part of your season here, I think around about till the end of the month. So we're starting off a little wackadoo, right? Let's find out what's going on. Look, tell me when your birthday is. I want to know when your birthday is so I can say happy birthday. Scorpio, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter. Tell me about Scorpio. Oh, yes, I can think of a few favorite Scorpios. Yes. Tell me about Scorpio. Okay, well, we're starting out with a little bit of skin here, but there we go. The sun. Look, this is going to be a really happy season for you. It feels like this is going to be a season of breakthroughs, happiness. Some things are coming into vision under the sun. I think that you are ready to step forward this Scorpio season under the sun, where everything is in view. I don't think there's going to be much guesswork in this Scorpio season here. We have the Eight of Pentacles. We have the Knight of Swords. It's coming at you quick here, friend. Ooh, and we've got the Tower. Wow. Look, some sort of shift is coming at you quickly here, but look, I think it's a good thing. For some of you, it's work. It's a job. It's a business you're building. Something you've been building underneath the surface is about to come to a place of breakthrough. So if you've been planning something patiently, carefully behind the scenes, it feels like it begins to move forward a little quicker, a little more aggressively. There's something here that's transforming, and I feel like it's going to be a hard shift, but there's Mars, right? The Tower is here. That's your energy, Scorpio. It feels like something is shifting hard, but I think that with the Sun and the Tower, it's a good thing. But it feels like somebody runs into the room and flicks on the lights, and it blinds you for a minute. It's a little bit disorienting. It feels like, oh, I didn't know it was here right now. I thought it was going to be waiting or having to do a lot more work on this Eight of Pentacles before this thing showed up. I don't think that you expected that it would be showing up right now, or that it was timed so quickly, that time had passed so quickly. Tell me about the Sun. Tell me about the Sun. We've got the Nine of Swords. We've got the World card. Oh, I kind of like that. It's the end of worry, my friend. Because now I do believe that you can see everything for what it is. Look at that. The Two of Swords. I like all of that energy here. We've got the Sun. So the Sun comes out You see everything for what it is, and now you can make a clear decision, Tony. Tony, I'm talking to you. It feels like you can make a clear decision about closing an old chapter and letting everything shift. I feel like this is the end of your worries. Something for you becomes very, very clear, Tom. Derguati. Something becomes very, very clear. It's time to make a decision about something, and I feel like maybe you've been holding back on it or thinking it wasn't ready, it wasn't prepared, you had to do more work, you had to do one more chapter or one more edit, and I feel like it's shifting before you feel ready for it to shift, is what it feels like. We've got the Two of Wands, we've got the King of Wands, we've got the Page of Pentacles here. So the Two of Wands tells me the decision moment is here. And it's not only making a decision, but it's taking actions, right? We go, because the King of Wands is here, and it feels like aggressive action. So I'm going to say that whatever it is, that you've been wanting to take action, but feeling kind of stuck, and now it's time to, whatever it is, to make it real. I'm going to say it's time to stop holding back. This is not a time to hold back. We've got two wands here and one in the hand of the king, and that's 3 wands. So there is a door opening up to your future here, my dear Scorpio, and something here is being made real. Like it feels like a new beginning or an opportunity is coming at you that you were hoping for. We've got the 6 of Swords, and it's going to move you forward here. So it pulls you out of this place of chaos in the mind. When is it coming? How can I do it? I'm not really sure. I don't think I have everything organized yet. I need to reassess the situation. And I think that the 6 of Swords shows up and says, look, it's just time to move forward to this calmer place. And once you finally put your effort or energy into a little bit of effort or energy into this new beginning or this new path that's opening up, everything begins to make a lot more sense. Tell me what the outcome is, please, for our birthday babies, for Scorpio. Woo, look at that. Wheel of Fortune is here. Look, there's something here that is totally, it's go time on it, whether you're ready or not. And that might piss you off just a little bit because I think you want to put the finishing touches on it. But you're going to be sort of shoved out into the limelight is what it feels like. The 3 of Wands is here. I did talk about the 3 of Wands being here, the 2 of Wands and the one in the hand of the king. And then the universe shows up and says, absolutely. That's exactly what we're talking about. Something here is about to shift into the future energy. Something that you've been looking at from a distance and hoping it would work out is about to work out and pay off big time. We've got the 10 of Pentacles here. So something that is going to either bring lots of money, time, effort, energy, health, something that is going to set the stage for possibly the next 10 years. It does feel like that this is future wealth, happiness, good health. It feels like something that there is something that is moving forward here in the way of destiny. Something here is changing, and I know you, just like Taurus, you don't like the C word. I'm a Taurus, right? I get you, right? You're my opposite sign, but we're very much alike. And I feel like that there is a shift happening here. That it's the end of your worry because the end of an old chapter is coming to an end, and the 2 of Swords is here saying, this decision is the hardest one I'm going to make, but the time is now. I got to release something and let something else take its place. We've got the 6 of Wands, we've got the King of Cups, and we've got the Ace of Pentacles. Well, there you go. The auspicious sign is that you show up to your own reading in the next steps about what's around the corner. I feel like this opportunity is coming for the King of Cups, and I feel like you're going to be like, I meant to do that. That's your thing, Scorpio, right? You're not going to let anybody see that you're like, oh my God, here it is. You're going to be like, yeah, I know, I meant to do that. The 6 of Wands is here. It's going to give you a lot of attention. Whatever it is, you're going to get a lot of attention. People are going to be cheering you on. You're going to get the limelight, whether you want it or not. And we do have the Devil energy here. So it does feel like with the Devil energy that that there is something that just sort of grates your nerves. You ever heard that term? What was it? What was the one I was thinking of? What was I thinking? It feels frustrating. It feels frustrating. It feels like you're holding on to like I need more time. Like it feels like the Devil and the Eight of Pentacles. I need more time. I'm not ready to move forward. I'm kind of bound to the process that I'm in. And somebody's telling you to skip the end of the process. We just need to see it. So you've been taking your time, and I think you're out of time is what it is. The Devil is connected to the Ace of Pentacles. And so I feel like you're trying to say, wait a second, wait a second, I'm bound to the process. And somebody's like, no, you've got to do it. We've been waiting long enough. The Seven of Pentacles is here. All right. We've got Capricorn and Gemini. We've got Aries, Sagittarius, and Leo, Scorpio, Pisces, and Cancer. More Leo energy, more Scorpio energy. We've got Taurus energy here. We've got Libra, Gemini, and Aquarius energy. Scorpio, Taurus, Aquarius, Leo. Sagittarian energy, and we've got the Sun, which is Leo energy. So something here is coming to fruition, whether you want it or not. Here it comes. All right. Sagittarius, how are you? How are you, Saggies, my fire family? Missed you. I hope you're well. Let's find out what's going on here. This is your sneak peek for the weekend. And I'm going to come back with a sneak peek for the week a little bit earlier in the week next week. Until then, I'll get a few readings on the table for you this weekend sometime. Let's find out what's going on with you, Sag, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter. Tell me about Sagittarius. We've got the Nine of Wands. We've got the Queen of Wands. We've got the Eight of Pentacles. And we've got the Ace of Wands. Look, I'm going to say it's time for you to be excited about something here, Sag. Something here that you're going to be excited about. We've got the Nine of Wands, the Ace of Wands, that's 10. You're dropping some sort of a burden that you've been carrying. It could be a financial burden. It could be that you've been waiting on something. It could be that you've been working on something that is finally going to be ready, I feel like you've been in a perfection stage, like you've been trying to be perfect, appear. I'm looking at the Queen of Wands here, which is your energy, and I'm looking at maybe you're getting different hair or nails or car or suit. It feels like somebody here is preparing for something to become pretty exciting. Now, you might be doing all of this intuitively. It feels like somebody here is about to be making a big, bold move. It might be you. It could be somebody else, but it feels like what it's going to do is it's going to release you from some sort of a process that you've been bound to in perfection. It feels like I need to be perfect before it's ready. I need to be perfect before. It feels like you've been reassessing something. And I feel like when the Ace of Wands shows up, it's the excitement of the creative process that it's just go time. It feels like it's time to move forward in a big, bold way. And it's time for you to release any of this Nine of Wands energy that you've got. Because it feels like based on past energies, that's where your perfection issue comes from. Based on, I've always been told I'm not enough. I've always been hurt in the past. It feels like somebody here is dealing with a bunch of trauma that they're ready to drop here. Something here is happening that is kind of exciting for you, Sag. And it feels like it is coming up, possibly if not this weekend. It could be in the week ahead, but it feels like it's an exciting decision that is going to shock you or surprise you. Somebody here no longer wants to hold any sort of animosity. They don't want to have any sort of grudge. I feel like somebody here has been viewing you from a distance and possibly wants to give you some sort of an apology. I'm sorry I acted that way. It feels like somebody here could be making a big, bold move toward you, and be aware that possibly if they live around you, it could be that they might just show up to your door if they have access to you that way. It feels like with this Ace of Swords and the Ace of Cups, somebody is about to speak very candidly, very honestly, truthfully, and with great clarity about what they plan to do with this Ace of Cups. This is a person that you've been disconnected from. It feels like there has been, there's a harsh disconnection. And I'm going to say harsh because look at all that snow, gray skies. It feels like it's been like stark, I'm going to say, if you know what that means. Like it feels like a disconnection that has been very cold or very frigid, very icy. It's like there's a reason we're not speaking to each other. It feels like somebody's going to make a big, bold move here. And the reason that they've been frozen, I'm going to say, on the outside looking in is because they didn't feel like they had the perfect way to do it. And so I feel like somebody has finally decided, look, I'm just going to go in with great clarity about what I'm about to do with the Ace of Cups. Somebody's going to try and open communication with you, I feel. And they're just going to be really honest about where they've been. I feel like somebody possibly wants to apologize to you because we did see the Page of Cups on the bottom of the deck, but that's a future apology. The bottom of the deck is the future energy for me. We do have the Knight of Pentacles. So you two have not spoken to each other in a while. I'm going to say minimum a year for some of you. It feels like it could be 9, 10, 11 months for some of you, maybe not quite a year. Could be 8 years for some of you, 9 years. Pentacles are years for me. Could be 5 years, but some of you it could be a year. We've got the Moon energy. And we've got the Magician. Someone is trying to create the illusion that they're not interested. I'll just take my damn time. That's what it feels like, Sag. Somebody who I feel has been inching toward you or moving slowly at their own pace is they're trying to create an illusion that I'm just going to do it in my own time. But I want to say for you on your end, the illusion is that things are not as they seem. I feel like you don't understand that something has been approaching you, someone, it could be an opportunity or a situation. It doesn't have to be a person. It'll be different for all of you. But it does feel like with the Moon energy that you feel it, that it's on the way, but it hasn't quite established itself. It hasn't shown up for you. And so I feel like you are listening to your intuition. You continue to manifest an opportunity showing up for you. And I think that what you don't understand is that your intuition is about to be confirmed here. That there's been something that's been hiding in the darkness, but you're about to celebrate. Somebody's about to show up, give you a lot of attention. The spotlight is going to be on you. I feel like there are other people in your life who are going to be excited for you when this shows up for you. Tell me what the outcome is for Sagittarius. I'm going to say people are going to be cheering you on. And it could be you and someone else, or you about the situation, or something you want is coming to fruition. Something you've been manifesting, you're going to see it under the spotlight. Leo energy, right? With the Six of Wands. You're going to see it under the spotlight. It's something that has been traveling at you at the speed of a snail, I'm going to say, and you've been feeling sort of disconnected or on the outside looking in, or somebody's been icing you out, or you've been icing them out. But I feel like somebody is finally going to speak some sort of emotion or about their heart space. The outcome is the Queen of Pentacles. It's the King of Swords, and it is the Four of Wands. Yep. There it is. It does feel like somebody here is about to be very truthful and very honest about how they feel about you. And the excitement that they feel about saying what they're saying. It feels like somebody here is trying to stabilize their thought process because they know that they're going to be giving you the truth, but they're trying to stabilize themselves and how they feel before they approach you. This person could be an air sign. They don't have to be, but it feels like that they are going to be dealing with the situation in air because the Ace of Swords is here with the communication, and then the King of Swords shows up. And the King of Swords is someone who just drops the bomb and walks away. So I feel like this person has decided they're going to drop the bomb and they're not going to walk away this time because the Four of Pentacles is here. They actually want to wait for your reply or look you in the eyes as they're dropping the bomb to see what your reaction is going to be. I think that you give this person stability. I feel like they feel safe enough to approach with their honesty because you allow them to be who they're going to be. And the King of Swords is Aquarius. They like to let the freak flag fly. So, and they like a lot of honesty. It feels like this person feels very stable, grounded, but also very excited when they're in your energy. But I don't know how you're going to receive them because look, it feels like there's been a very big divide between you for a while. Around the corner, we have the Two of Pentacles. We have the Six of Swords, and we have the Nine of Swords. Someone is very worried about what it's going to look like if they decide to get out of their head and move at you here with the Two of Pentacles. Somebody is right at this moment, I feel, over the weekend is back and forth about what they want to do, because this is the place of the chaos of the mind. It feels like somebody here wants to move forward into a calmer place, but they're worried about what your how you're going to feel, what you're going to say, what is your answer going to be. We've got the Ten of Wands. This is what's weighing heavy on them. But I do feel like somebody either makes the decision this weekend or actually truly comes at you this weekend. For some of you, they're coming at you this weekend. We've got the Tower here and the King of Pentacles. Well, look at that. Somebody feels like you are their match. So they're coming at you, I feel, with honesty, stability. They want to settle down. They feel like you two match each other. But look, the two of these people have their backs to each other. And then we have the Tower. So I feel like whoever the masculine leaning energy is the one that is going to see the Tower first. And I feel like this person is breaking out of their stubborn energy. So we could be talking about a Taurus or a Scorpio, Pisces, or a Cancer. Nope, sorry. Scorpio, Taurus, Aquarius, or Leo. Could be a fixed sign. Somebody who's stubborn, taking their time, moving really slow. But I feel like it happens in Scorpio season for somebody here. Look, there's the other king. There's Scorpio. It could be a Scorpio for some of you. We do have Pisces, Scorpio, Pisces, Cancer, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. We have Aries, Sagittarius, Leo, Libra, Gemini, and Aquarius. Lots of Earth energy, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn energy. Yes, yes, yes. All right. Let's leave that right there. There's a Tower. Something is shifting, my friend. And I think you're going to be shocked. Tell me about Capricorn. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter. Tell me about Capricorn for the weekend. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter. Tell me about Capricorn, please, this weekend. Tell me about Capricorn. Capricorn, we have the Queen of Swords. Why is that? Very interesting way to start. We've got the Five of Pentacles. Somebody is understanding or being honest with themselves here. The Eight of Wands is here. And the Nine of Pentacles. Somebody is coming to the truth about something. You know what it is? Whoever this person is here, Libra, this is Libra here, but Gemini and Aquarius, or this could be an indication of that we weren't talking to each other or that we were very disconnected during Libra season. But it feels like somebody here, and I don't know who it is, it could be any sign, but it feels like somebody is now coming to an understanding or a realization or being honest with themselves as to why they've been out in the cold. I feel like somebody here doesn't want to be there anymore. It feels like with the Eight of Wands, things are about to move forward or speed up because somebody is feeling a lot more confident about either the money they have, the reputation they have. It could be with the Nine of Pentacles, it could mean maybe my business is finally taking off. It feels like somebody here is realizing they were part of the problem and not necessarily part of the solution. Whoever this person is that was holding back or was feeling like they didn't have enough or they weren't enough, it feels like someone is now being honest with themselves about, I really need to push forward, move forward, or take a shot at being a lot more confident. Feels like somebody has grown here, I want to say. Grown in the mind. Two of Pentacles is in the reverse. We have the Seven of Wands and we have the Five of Wands. It does feel like somebody was very undecided or in indecision in the mind about what to do next. And I feel like somebody has decided to liberate themselves, to finally stand up and take charge of a situation and get a little bit of stability. It does feel like stability of the mind, or I finally landed on a decision, but it does feel like somebody is getting up to finally do something. Breaking chains or getting out of the Five of Pentacles energy. I'm finally honest with myself that maybe I was part of the problem, not necessarily all of the solution. And somebody is about possibly saying something about it. To be honest, truthful, you know, the Queen of Swords walks to the beat of their own drum, right? I'm just going to be honest. And in a world where not many people are honest, I feel like there was somebody here who is undecided about whether they should take on their part of it or not. And I feel like somebody here is deciding that in order for me to be able to make a decision that doesn't make me feel terrible, I've got to finally close the cycle or release it. So we've got a lot of swords here, right? It does feel like you probably are dealing with someone who is in swords, or maybe just up in their head, but it feels like someone worried about making a decision because they knew that making the decision that they have to make was going to hurt somebody else. Their truth, their honesty is going to hurt somebody else. It feels like I'm going to be clear, I'm going to be confident, I'm just going to say it. Maybe I was part of the problem. Maybe you were part of the problem. It feels like I don't want to be out in the cold anymore. I've got to take a stab at this, like I've got to do it. It does feel like here somebody is worried about the decision that they're making because they're wondering if they've experienced enough growth, or have I gone over the details? Have I reassessed the situation in the right way? It feels like someone's about to make one of the biggest decisions that they've ever made, but they want to know if they've had enough growth. Can I handle the answer? Like, can I handle giving the truth and getting the truth? It feels like somebody here is very worried about what the answer might end up being, but knows that they have to finally stand up for themselves and stop being wishy-washy with whatever it is that the decision is about. Tell me what the outcome is here for Capricorn. We do have the Six of Pentacles in the reverse. We have the Ace of Cups in the reverse. And we have the Three of Wands. There is somebody who can't stop thinking about the future. Somebody feels as if they don't come forward and say something and be very honest about, it feels almost like somebody's like, look, I know I breadcrumbed you. I know that I didn't show all of the emotions I wanted to show. It feels like somebody here with the Devil energy and the Three of Wands, it feels like somebody feels so obsessively attached to the outcome of something or to the future that they must stand up. It's like they're compelled to stand up, release themselves from a situation, or finally tell the truth about how they're feeling about something. Somebody was keeping it under the surface. Somebody here was breadcrumbing you possibly and not necessarily telling you everything that was going on. I feel like somebody here can't let go of whatever's going to happen in the future. They see you as part of their emotional future, and they no longer want to keep it under the surface. We do have the Six of Cups, we have the Knight of Cups, and we have the Knight of Wands. So I feel like somebody here can't let go of the nostalgia you've created with them, the memories that they have created with you. The Knight of Cups is showing me that this person is moving slow because that's strategy. It's a strategic part before they have this burst of energy. The Knight of Wands is busting forward, right? I'm just going to go. I'm going to do it. I'm going to be brave. I'm going to take the risk and I'm going to go. It feels like somebody here is wanting to see you, but they also want to feel you. It feels like this person can't stop thinking about the past with you or past moments you've shared with them. And now they also are connecting it to the future and they don't want to give that up either. It is somebody here who I feel wants to build a stronger, firmer structure. Let's build this strong, firmer path. Let's get on this path together. Let's get on the same page. This could be an employer. This could be somebody who is ready for a commitment. Maybe someone wants to commit to giving you the raise or the promotion. It could be that because we have the Eight of Pentacles here, the Nine of Pentacles here. It feels like you've grown in their presence, or they've watched you grow from a distance, and now it's time to get stability. I feel like you have to make a big decision, and the decision is worrying you, possibly. We've got the Hanged Man. So things have been in suspension here. They've been in a pause, and you know, it truthfully feels like we are talking about a relationship. Things have been in a pause for a really long time, and it feels like there is either maybe a Taurus, a Virgo, or a Capricorn, a Libra, a Gemini, or an Aquarius. Somebody here has figured out that they've got to take action now, and they've got to be brave to do it. They got to stop running around and around in circles with indecision. It's time for them to build a bridge to you, and they have to make this decision. No more pause. the Queen of Pentacles. It's time to settle down. Somebody here wants you to see them as the one that is in control. They don't want to be seen as someone who's out of control, but they're coming forward here with the Ace of Pentacles. And for some of you, it's not an Emperor, but for some of you it is. But somebody who's in the Emperor energy, and that means that somebody who is very contained or controlled. They don't like people to be able to guess what they're up to. They don't like people to see them as being out of control. It feels like there is an opportunity showing up that's been under the surface for a while, and somebody has finally decided that they are disciplined enough to bring that forward. It feels like they have been breadcrumbing you with attention or emotions, and they are about to come in and be very sure of what they want, because Ace of Pentacles is here with the Emperor. We have a Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn energy, Pisces, Libra, Gemini, and Aquarius, Scorpio, Pisces, Cancer, Sagittarius energy, and Libra, Gemini, and Aquarius energy here. Speaking of Aquarius, here we are, friends. How are you, Aquas? Tell me about Aquarius, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter. Tell me about the sneak peek for the weekend for Aquarius. Welcome to Scorpio season, friends. Tell me about Aquarius. Also, welcome to the shadow phase of Mercury retrograde. Tell me about Aquarius, please. What's coming up in this weekend? The sneak peek for this weekend for Aquarius. We've got the Three of Cups. We've got the Ten of Wands. Something you've been carrying around for a while. I think that Aquarius, you've been wanting to have a reunion or get together with friends or family, or maybe there's just one person. Maybe you're going to extend an invitation or a date invitation to somebody here. Maybe you want to take them out for dinner. Feels like you want to get together with someone or have a reunion. Maybe it's a reconciliation. Now, if it's reconciliation with the Ten of Wands here, that's very interesting. It feels like you've been carrying this around with you emotionally for a while. We've got the Two of Swords. Boy, Two of Swords is coming up a lot. There's a lot of decision making going on this weekend, is what it feels like here. And the Two of Cups. So it does feel like there is somebody here who wants to either deepen a connection, deepen a friendship, make a decision about how I feel emotionally about the situation. I feel, Aquarius, that you've been carrying something around here about someone for a while, and that you are making that official decision, if not telling them, but just making it in the mind. I think that your decision is reconciliation is what I want. I want to reconcile, and understand that reconciliation doesn't mean that someone wants you back. It doesn't mean that we're going to resume a relationship. That's not what it means. Reconciliation is any time we can reconcile. So maybe there's been an argument and I don't want to hold any grudges anymore. Maybe there's been silence and I want to break the silence. Whatever it is, it feels like there's going to be a reconciliation. So that could be maybe you text someone you haven't heard from for a while. Or maybe it's somebody who you're finally going to ask out on a date, possibly. Two of Cups can be romantic, but it can also be platonic. Maybe you just want to deepen the connection with somebody, whether it is romantic or platonic. Tell me about this reconciliation here. Got the Eight of Wands. I feel like you're taking your shot at something, or something here is going to speed up or move forward. This could be the texting process. It could be that you are going to text somebody here. We've got the Devil energy, and we've got the Knight of Pentacles. It does feel like it's something here that you've been thinking about obsessively for a very long time. So it could be a year. It doesn't have to be, but the Knight of Pentacles is also an opportunity. I want to say that you've been assessing and reassessing something in the mind for a little while here. Could be 3 months for some of you, maybe 5 months. But it does feel like it's something you can't stop thinking about. It keeps running through your mind. Knight of Pentacles tells me you can't let it go. Look, that's Virgo energy, and Virgo's going to keep assessing, reassessing. It feels like a conversation you're going over. What words did they say? Maybe you're looking over texts, old texts possibly. Tell me about the Two of Cups and the Knight of Pentacles here. Feels like something has been slowly deepening. We've got the Nine of Pentacles, the Page of Pentacles, and the Ace of Cups is in the reverse. It does feel like that if you do this, It feels like it's going to be in Pentacles, understand? 10 Pentacles is like, it feels like there's an opportunity for us to grow together. It feels like I feel stable enough, or I feel like there's enough confidence within me to give a little bit of something. Open the door a little bit, give a little hello, how are you? The Ace of Cups is in the reverse. It feels like it's going to be Pentacle-like. It's not going to be emotional. And we have the 10 of Pentacles. Again, 9 and 1 is 10, and then the 10 shows up. I feel like you want this person in your life for the long term, whether this is romantic or not. It feels like you want this person in your life for the long term, but I don't think that's easy for you to say. I don't think you have said it to them. I feel like you want them to have the feeling. I'm going to be honest with you here with the Ace of Cups in the reverse. It feels like you're not showing any emotion, which is very Aquarius of you, but I feel like you're not showing any romantic feelings here. So whether you do have romantic feelings or not, I don't think you're showing them. I think that your purpose of reconnecting with this person or reconciling with them is for the purpose of easing some sort of pain you have, or easing some sort of uncomfortable feeling of carrying emotions around. I feel like you're going to be reaching out to this person because you haven't spoken with them in a while. You've been thinking about them. Tell me what the outcome is here. We've got the Strength card, we've got the Sun, and we've got the High Priestess. King of Swords is in the reverse. I feel like this is what's possibly stopping you from making a decision in the 3D. I feel like you feel that you owe somebody here an apology, and the King of Swords is in the reverse. I don't think you know how to say that. I don't think you're really familiar with saying sorry. Just calling you out right now. Hope you don't feel too called out, but the King of Swords. It's the King of Swords being in the reverse. It tells me that somebody's really awkward with their words, or they don't give very good apologies. But I do want to do that. I want to materialize that. It feels like you've been in your head about what to say. That's possibly why you haven't stepped forward to say sorry, that I had you out in the cold. Sorry, I've been disconnected from you. I don't think you know what to be sorry about, to be honest. I think what it is you think that this person wants an apology because you've been disconnected, but I don't think that you think you owe an apology, so you're not sure what to say. Yeah, I'm sorry you feel that way. Like, I don't think you know what you're supposed to say here. The thing is that I think that you have, you want to just open the door with this person because you see the value in having them in your life long term. We've got the Three of Swords around the corner. The Queen of Swords is in the reverse, and the Judgment card is in the reverse. Listen, I'm just going to say we just spotted the King of Swords in the reverse. We just spotted the Queen of Swords in the reverse. You're going to get what you give. So if you want kindness and love and reconciliation, then you better give that, because the Queen of Swords is in the reverse. And if the King of Swords is in the reverse and the Queen of Swords is in the reverse, we're probably going to have a sword fight. If you don't care, then I don't care, is the energy of the Queen of Swords. The Three of Swords is here, and I think it's because this person feels brokenhearted by you, or feels disappointed that there's been sadness, and I feel like somebody has misjudged the other person. I feel like the Queen of Swords is feeling misjudged, and the Three of Swords tells me that they're feeling disappointed, heartbroken, or feeling some type of way about you not speaking with them. And you could say, yeah, they could have contacted me as well, but I'm just going to be honest, I think it's on your end. I think you're the one that caused the silence. Oh, look at that. As after I just went on with the King and the Queen of Swords both being in reverse. So the King and the Queen of Swords are both being in reverse because I feel like there's something here that maybe we've been misjudging each other. Look, I'm not even going to pin it on you. Maybe it's on the Queen of Swords as well. I feel like that somebody has misjudged the whole situation here. It could be you, it could be them, but I feel like it's ended up with broken hearts or disappointed energy, hurt between two people. And I think both people are feeling hurt, to be honest. Ten of Swords is in the reverse. Somebody here was not wanting to hear the what for, not wanting someone to throw all the swords at them and say, you need to be honest with me, and I'm just going to tell you exactly how I feel, and you're going to listen to it or go away. I feel like you're not exactly prepared to deal with the Queen of Swords in reverse, because the Queen of Swords is going to mirror you, understand? So I feel like you're not quite in the mood to deal with that. You know that this person is probably going to be as honest with you as you were with them the last time you saw them. We've got Libra, Gemini, Aquarius energy. We've got Virgo, Pisces, Taurus energy. We've got Cancer energy, Sagittarius, Leo. Yeah, Leo, strength card. So find your courage, man. We've got Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. The sun is here. Everything is coming out into the open here. I feel like there is intuition on fire. I think that you know how this goes. Honestly, I feel like you know how this goes. I feel like they know how this goes. And when it comes out, when there is a burst of energy or a breakthrough comes in the intuition. I think you already know how this goes, and that's why you've been avoiding it. Because I think someone is going to give you what you gave them, Aquarius, which is maybe a little bit of silence, right? All right, Pisces. This is your sneak peek for the weekend, Pisces. How you doing, friends? I hope you're well. Thank you so much for being here and watching. My water family, two fishes friends. Tell me about Pisces. Pisces, this is your sneak peek for the weekend. You're still going to get a sneak peek for the week next week. Been away for a little bit. Had to take a break. Avoid the burnout. Tell me about Pisces, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus and Jupiter. What's coming up for the weekend? We've got the Ten of Pentacles. Why is that? Something good. Feels healthy. We've got the Page of Swords. It feels like, for some of you, based on these two cards, it feels like you have an idea that's going to make you money. It's a money-making idea. So if the process has been slow, so what I mean by that is, have you been building something? Are you getting a patent? Are you writing a book? Are you making a deck? What are you doing? I feel like something here, a big idea you have, is worth a lot of money that will make a lot of money for your posterity. So you'll make a lot of money, and that will create generational wealth. This is what it feels like. We've got the Ten of Cups and generational happiness. Somebody here is learning something. You could be at school, or maybe you are writing. Look, she's holding a book. Maybe you are a writer. We've got the Death card here. Something is about to transform. You know what I think is about to transform? It feels like something, there's knowledge that is coming, communication that is coming, or you have some sort of big idea and somebody is going to go all in on it with you, with maybe financing it. It feels like a patent or a book, or it feels like a wealth of knowledge. You could be going back to school. The Death card is here. Something is transforming. And look, it's heavy duty, crazy, happy, good shit is what it feels like. The Death card is here. It feels like transformation is here. It feels like there is, your happiness is transforming and your money is transforming is what it feels like. There is some sort of victory that you're about to get here. Tell me about the Ten of Pentacles. What do we need to know about that? We've got the Devil. We've got the Hermit energy. And we've got the King of Cups. There is something that you're keeping under the surface. Something that you possibly have been working on in silence. Maybe it's yourself. It could be your spirituality. Somebody here has been doing something obsessively under the surface or in silent, not telling people what's going on. I'm not giving away my ideas. I feel like somebody does have a big idea that is close to your heart. I feel like whatever it is that you're doing, if this is a project, if this is a job, if this is something that's a situation, it feels like this, once it comes to the surface, makes you a lot of money and changes everything in terms of your happiness. If we are talking about relationship, it feels like there is something that you are learning that is going to make you very happy about the 10 Pentacles. Something here is transforming between you and another person who is going to be communicating with you, that's going to be giving you communication that makes you the absolute happiest you've ever been. They might be communicating with you. They might have been keeping their feelings under the surface. They might be communicating with you to teach you about this Ten of Pentacles, that they want to have something a little more long-term with you here. This person's been quiet with you, but listen, I feel like they have been obsessing about how to say it, what to say. They feel a little bit awkward, or they don't have the right words, or they feel like there's no way that they could have the right words. What song is that? Getting a song. It's Jan Arden. Could I be your girl? That's what it is. I feel like somebody is going to want you to be their girl, or maybe you're saying to someone else, could I be your girl? We've got the Judgment here. Lock your heart under the bed and hide your heart under the bed and lock the secret drawer. Wash the angels from your head, won't need them anymore. Love is a demon, and he's the one. Love is a demon, and you're the one he's coming for. Oh my Lord. Okay. All right. So could I be your girl? Yeah, is what it is here. I feel like it's somebody who's been hiding their feelings. They've been silent with you, but I feel like their feelings for you, you've misjudged the whole thing. It feels like this person is making a really big decision that is going to shock you or surprise you. They've been in this contemplation here. They've got the Two Cups. They don't want to be rejected. They don't want to be sad. 5 cups is above the head. 2 cups are in the hand. This is a really shocking surprise. And the Judgment card is here. Somebody's making a really big decision to be reborn into a new cycle that's going to transform everything for you. This feels like something is going to change everything. Somebody's been working on something obsessively under the surface that they're about to reveal to you here. Ace of Pentacles, it does feel like it is a very big investment. So they're going to want to invest in you. And like I said, for some of you, this doesn't even have to do with romance. It feels like it has to do with a job, or maybe whatever project, big idea you're working on that will bring money here. But I feel like this opportunity is golden, is what it feels like. Either way, it's a golden opportunity here. Tell me about Pisces. What's around the corner? No, what's the outcome? Sorry. We've got the Page of Pentacles, we've got the 7 of Wands, and we've got the High Priestess. Somebody here has decided, I need to speak about what my intuition is telling me. Somebody has a good feeling about you. And so, although they've been silent, they have this good feeling about you. But I feel as though they've been feeling a little bit defensive because they don't want to be hurt. They want to move really, really slowly and want to open the door slowly because they don't want to leap any of your boundaries. It feels like somebody here doesn't want to take action. You can see that this person's holding 2 wands. There's 5 down here. There's been indecision, and somebody wants to make a decision to take action or step forward here. And the Page of Pentacles tells me they want to materialize it in the 3D, which means that this person's been thinking about this, but they've not taken action on it yet. It feels like with the High Priestess, it's been internal, silent. I haven't been saying anything. Somebody here feels like they need to be spiritually ready for you, or they need to look over the self and make sure that they have enough love, enough emotion. Feels like somebody here has a hard time showing their feelings, and so they've been going over that. But I feel like it's been to the point of obsession. This person is kind of obsessed with you. I think it's in a good way, I'm going to say. But this person is somebody who I feel has a lot of options, opportunities. I think you're going to be surprised or shocked, honestly, about this Judgment here. Somebody's making a judgment here. Tell me what is around the corner for Pisces. We've got the Hierophant, we've got the 8 of Pentacles, and we've got the 2 of Pentacles. 10 Pentacles coming up here again. For someone, if you're already in a relationship and it's serious and it's been that way for years, somebody's probably going to pop the question. They're probably going to ask you to commit to them, solidify the relationship, possibly get married. If you've just been dating this person, they're going to ask you to date exclusively. That's what the Hierophant would mean. If this is somebody that you have eyes for, but they haven't really said anything about their feelings because they've been keeping them under the surface, this person is somebody who's going to try and get you to commit one-on-one with them. They've really been working hard on like keep reassessing what to say. Perfect words. Could I be your girl? Somebody feels like the other person has perfect words, and so it feels like the person who is going to admit their feelings feels like the person they're admitting their feelings to, this person has their perfect words, but they feel like they don't have the right words. I feel like somebody keeps reassessing the situation and trying to make a decision about whether to invest in you or not, because they feel like you can't hear the words. Excitement, communication. You make them feel like a kid again. They're ready to explore. They're very curious about as to whether you would be interested in just dating them one-on-one and building some sort of a solid commitment with them. Somebody who wants to know if you want to work on it with them. Should we work on a long-term relationship? It feels very exciting here. Something's about to transform everything. Some sort of communication or invitation that you're getting. It feels like somebody wants to involve themselves in your life, and it's going to shock you, because I feel like you've been wanting this to happen, but it's all been under the surface and you haven't been saying anything, but your intuition has been telling you that someone's about to leap your boundary and say, look, can we give each other a little bit of time? They might even come to you with a little bit of a gift, maybe a flower, maybe a rose, or maybe a little bit of a trinket. It feels like they want to maybe buy you a coffee or maybe take you out for dinner. It feels like they want to buy something for you. It feels like they're ready to give you a lot of attention here. They've been holding back because they have super, super deep feelings. But look, we have the Queen and the King of Cups here. I think it's mutual, and they don't think it is, because the Eight of Swords is here. All right, somebody's admitting something here. I'm going to leave that right here. Thank you so much for being here and watching, Pisces. Oh, we should talk about Pisces, Taurus, Scorpio. It's going to happen in Scorpio season. Virgo and Pisces. Scorpio, Pisces, Cancer energy. Virgo is here. Capricorn is there. Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn energy. I'm going to leave that right there. Thank you so much for being here and watching. Have yourself a lovely weekend. I'll be back with more readings this weekend. And I will also be back next week with more readings for your sign. Thanks, Pisces, for being here and watching. Appreciate you guys. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.